I had to come out here. I have a client on the way right now. Just my mic. I hope you can hear me all right. It's my first time using this little device that I got. There's a message that's been wanting to come through, and it's been coming in portions. So I thought I'd hop in the car and deliver it real quick. So this is what I heard. Well, what I was shown. It wasn't even really hearing. It was more showing. Actually, I feel like I want to hold this. Sorry, that might have sounded crazy. Okay, so years ago, I'm talking maybe even 10 years ago now. I don't know how many years ago. It was a long time ago. Yeah, at least 8 years ago to maybe 10 years ago. I woke up from a very short dream. In the dream, I was in my bathroom and I was like, what is that? Right here on my head. I leaned forward and there was a big old juicy, gross pimple right there. So in my dream, I leaned in and I put my fingers together. I was about to pop it, and then my dream ended. But when I looked at it real close like that in the mirror, I could see like pus swirling inside and stuff. And so I knew, because that's, symbolic of third eye, because it's in the center of your brain, right behind this area. So I knew that it was talking about some sort of spiritual activation, third eye awakening. And then because it came through like a pimple. What's a pimple? A pimple is literally an infection under your skin. It's refuse, it's garbage that's inside of your skin. And so because the vision came through like that, it came through like there was a cleansing going on. It was like, oh, all that nastiness is being kicked out. Okay, so that's one thing. When it started coming, this message started coming to me over the last couple days. It was talking about that third eye energy. It's like there's been, thank you, I'm hearing more. Just like there was a reversal of the magnetics on Earth that was causing the energy to flow opposite of its divine created manner of flow and direction of flow. Similar to that, there was contamination. Thank you. Contamination in the third eye. There was contamination in the third eye. Now this, if you're drawn to watch this message, it's for you, because everything is on purpose. Nothing is on accident in my world. Welcome to my world. And so, yeah, this is talking about, you could have trusted your intuition so many times and been like, I don't get it. Like, that shit took me down the most difficult fucking path I could have went down. Here's the beauty of spirit. No matter which way you go, you will gain power depending on how you go through it. So you still benefited. However, they are saying that the message is that there has been some contamination. That although you were doing this and you were doing that to activate your third eye energy or to trust your intuition and stuff like that, your intuition kept guiding you what appeared to be wrong. There was contamination in third eye energy. Thank you. I heard contamination in your vision. And they are giving it to me as though two different ways. You received programming from being on Earth. You learned from your parents and others who influenced your life as you grew up, and you adopted ideas and beliefs and all of these different things that you claim as your truth. So there's been a decontaminating of that for everyone. However, for some who strongly resonate with the feeling of having had spell work done on you, curses, witchcraft, brujeria, all that type of stuff, what I was shown was that there was somebody who wanted to use your energy, and in order to block you, they showed me one of these K-dramas I watched where the father knew that the son was going to be so fucking powerful that he blocked his energy points so this child could not access his energy. For somebody, it could be parents. However, what they're showing me is that that is broken. So there, anyone who felt that you just felt it because you were like, no matter what the fuck I do, everything just blows up. It just doesn't go right. All this different stuff, right? You could have been so angry and so frustrated and cried so many times about this because it just felt like you trusted your intuition. You always acted with good intentions, but you just weren't getting what you knew you deserved. You were getting exactly the opposite of the. It's like the more you loved, the more shit you got handed in your hand. It's like the more you did good deeds, the more things blew up in your life, you know? And you've managed to keep your light on. You've managed to keep your heart on. You've managed to stay in that love energy, in that vibe of tribe, baby, of live, love, laugh, be merry, and all of these things. Even when things are difficult, you do your best to just know that somehow this is gonna be okay. Everything works out, and all these things, right? But they're showing me that there was some sort of it could have been introduced to you verbally. It could have been something that you adopted by association. And for some people, honestly, you just didn't have control of your power, and somebody saw all this power floating around you. They saw that it was coming from you, and they decided to harness it. And part of what they did in order to continue that ability was put a blockage over your third eye. They contaminated it so you couldn't see who they were or what the fuck they were doing, and you wouldn't know. So they could get away with this. They wanted to get away with this for the rest of your life. They didn't give a fuck about the fact that it was your birthright to be prosperous, abundant, talented, creative, psychic, whatever it is, right? A healer, energy, your pure energy, whatever you wanted to do, all that energy you could flow into what you do, into your creations. Somebody else was harnessing that shit. And when that was happening for you, oh, you were a Debbie Downer, a boohoo Betty, a negative Nancy, a sad ass Sally, uh, you know what I'm saying? All of that constantly, oh, I'm sorry. It's like every day you were apologizing for your existence, and then you would still at the same time try to help ones, try to help different people out, be an agent of love, be an agent of peace, be an agent of happiness. This was something that you still did. And then it's like every time you did that, you ended up with the short end of the stick, you ended up with shit in your hands, stuff like this was happening. And so whichever type of way you feel that you've experienced this, because not all of you resonate with having somebody who has done such dark shit against you. I know a lot of you do. However, some of you, it was just contamination by your own beliefs. Either way, all of you was contamination by your own beliefs. Because here's the thing, even if it was somebody else that was doing all this, doing all that, the contamination of the own belief is that somebody else had more power in your life than you did. That somebody else could decide what your energy would do. And most of you, that happened by default. I'm hearing it was a default setting due to the obliviousness you had about it. You don't know what you don't know until you know what you didn't know. And there's a learning day, and there's a learning curve. And now they're showing me the superhero movies. You know, the beginning of the first superhero movie, the guy just thinks he's a normal guy going to his 9 to 5, doing his regular thing. You know, he's a decent person, just struggling to get by. He's a little bit clumsy and this and that and the other. And then somehow he finds out. Maybe somebody tells him, or maybe he stumbles upon something, or maybe it happens by accident. It all happened in different ways for all of you, just like in these movies, where he discovers he has powers. He discovers that he's got some superhuman abilities and skills that other people don't have. This shit ain't normal. This shit is different. So more and more as you take your power back, what you're finding is that these different ones, it was on this bullshit of milking your energy, siphoning your power, siphoning your energy without your awareness, have lost the ability to do so. The more you keep reclaiming your power. Now, I hear the final shutdown. The final shutdown of the ability for external control devices or energies or entities to siphon from you is when you stop trying to control everyone else. Because remember, when we try to control someone else and what they do, even if it's for their own benefit, that's most of our problem is. Most of our problem is that we can see a better way. And we may have learned the hard fucking way about this, that, or the other. So we're like, hey, you're doing what I did. And guess what? Here's a better way. This shit's gonna work. You're gonna fucking love it. And they're like, ugh, this bitch with that shit again. I don't want to hear it. So here you are trying to put it in their face and get them to do it. Well, you'll be really happy because you'll have some money to pay for that phone bill, or you'll have a place to live if you have a job. This motherfucker don't want to work. Again, most of us is not trying to control people because we're trying to control them and get them to do bad, or trying to get them to do some other shit, manipulate them in that way. But it is a manipulation, even if it's for their own good. And so that's a challenge. But once you meet that challenge and you stop trying to manipulate other people's choices and free will, now you've closed the portal of control and nobody can influence your choices and free will. And then these motherfuckers that did spell work, brujeria, spell casting, whatever the hell they thought they put, roots, voodoos, hoodoos, I don't know. None of my damn business. What I do know is now you're none of their business. You're literally none of their business. So just because I just used the word business, and maybe it's because I'm sitting in front of my beautiful business. However, some of you, this could be a person that is in business that who saw this energy about you, and they thought that they could do some things and work some spell work, some spell casting, black magic, all this shit. People actually do that shit. I know for a fact that people actually do that shit. And it's, thank you. It's just like in the movie Monsters Inc. They go around scaring all these little babies so that way they can get energy from their screams. And how does the movie end? Oh, they get way more energy if the kids just fucking laugh. This person could have got, whoever these people are that have done this to different chosen ones, have really screwed themselves. I heard and shot themselves in the foot. Because the same energy you put out is the same energy you get back. And so now what they're finding is they're in the confines of their own intentions. Their intention was to steal your power. Guess what's happening? They're losing power. The minute you close the window of control, they cannot access your power. But here's the problem for them. Not only can they not access your power, but they can't do this shit to anyone else. It doesn't fucking work no more. Because guess what? The magnetics on Earth have been corrected. And that happened in 2019, as I've been shown. In 2020, we had the fallout of it where we saw it in a physical quarantine for the whole entire world. A reset moment. Never before seen in history of humans. And so I had to get this message out to you because it just felt so urgent. And I just had this new device, so then I had to wait for it to charge, and everything is perfect. Thank you. And the message in that, because everything that comes out during a live is always meant to be said. There's always something about it. And sometimes I say off the wall shit, and then you're like, oh my God, you said this, that, and the other during the message, and I don't even think it was supposed to be part of the reading, but it was exactly what happened in my life. Yeah, we had to charge the mic. We had to charge the mic, baby. The third eye had to be cleaned out. Then you had to charge the mic because I don't care what is printed information. What God showed me was everything has been described accurately about the chakras and how they function. But there's a little bit of confusion between the third eye and the crown chakra. And what God showed me is the third eye is how you project out your vision to source, to spirit, to the universe. And the crown is how you receive that information into your energy field for the brain to process, for you to understand and hear the message, see the message, however your clair works and functions, right? And so, like I said, there's been some confusion about the third eye. Some of you, it's just simply, you're trying to receive through the third eye. And it is part of the reception device, but it is not the main reception device. Incoming through the crown, outgoing through the third eye, and the throat and the heart and your actions and everything else, right? However, you're going to receive the guidance from all of these different chakra points too, depending on which clair you express most greatly. Thank you so much. Some are claircognizant, some are clairaudient, clairaudient. Okay, some are just clairvoyant, some are just clairsentient, some are there's so many clairs. What's the one where you smell stuff? There's a specific word for that. I can't tell you. But some people feel goosebumps. Some people can see, and they see the energy with their physical eyes, just like I'm staring at my shop right now. They see with their physical eye energy. Most people, though, see it inside of here. So if that third eye was plugged up, it would have I'm hearing fucked with the communication between you and source. And again, isn't it beautiful that the way God, source, universe works is that no matter which path you take, it's always going to guide you to where you're supposed to be. This is what these fuckers didn't know, who thought that they could take and reap off of your energy and just clone off of your spirit. Like, that shit is not where it's at. And the consequences and repercussions for doing it, they're heavy ones that these people don't want to pay, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They're sitting in their own intention now, focused and multiplied in intensity towards themselves. Yes, I'm hearing anywhere from 10 to 100 times, depending on how many times they did it to you. Whoa. That's something that I heard new. And as I'm saying this, everything that happens during your life is necessary. One of the tribe members, literally, I just saw a notification come across my phone talking about not having had a decent relationship with their mom, and she just found out it was because, and I didn't read it because I didn't open it. It just happened literally right now. And here's the thing: it's time for a new day. So somebody here, again, this could be your mother or your father, right? They had saw some things and they wanted to oppress you and keep you down, keep you under their thumb where they can benefit from what you got to do. Some of you, your parents weren't so freaking intelligent to know how to do spell work and black magic and all this shit. They're just jealous. They're just hateful. They're your haters. Anytime you try to make a move that's great, you don't need to go to college. What you need to go to college for? You don't need to start a business. What you need to start a business for? You don't need to go start a YouTube channel. What you need to do that for? Why are you practicing drawing like that? What you think you can sing or something? You know what I'm saying? This type of vibes, if they sound like that, if they be looking at you like that when you got stuff to do, those things carry energy. So some of these people, they didn't even do black magic, but their energy was with the same intensity and effect, right? And because you didn't know who you were, what your power was, and that you had the ability to close it down. Plus, you were busy trying to control everybody, make everybody better. You got to make a better decision. You got to. You should learn about your chakras. You should study. You should watch tarot readings. You should go to a spiritual center. You should learn about this new age stuff. You should leave that. You should eat better. You should quit drinking. Stop doing drugs. Quit running around this. I don't know what you did, but there was somewhere where you were trying to control, and even if it's at least one other person. The thing is, it's not like you would run around trying to do this to every person you cross paths with. No, you only do it with the ones that you love the fucking most. Your kids, your parents, your siblings, your cousins, your best friends, stuff like this. Because you love them, you want to see them in the best, and you think you know what's best for them, and you might be right in some ways. However, there's nothing wrong with having a conversation, but when you try to manipulate things to control people, to make them do the right thing or make them do something other than what their free will is, other than their free will, you have now successfully opened a portal of control that will allow others to manipulate your free will. Again, it was some contamination in the third eye area that was coming through in the vision. So, it's very important that we realize, and maybe you don't see if you do that. Maybe you don't see it. For the longest time, I didn't see it. I didn't see I had control issues. I started realizing I had control issues around 2019, where I finally realized, oh, shit. Oh, man. I mean, it might be for their betterment, because I never try to control nobody to hurt them. But I'm like, you do this, you do that, blah, 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 blah. And then that made me just back off. That made me back off. Now, that doesn't mean I don't get with my grandsons and my own child. These are my children. I'm here to guide them. But it's still, at the same time, I don't force. I ask, hey, can you help me? Hey, can we talk? Hey, what do you think about this? And it has changed my life. It has completely changed my life, because that was when the portal of control closed and other people stopped having more power in my life than I did. And I was no longer feeling like I was under this curse and that curse and their hate. I got haters. They're throwing shade. That's why things aren't going the way they should. All those stupid excuses. No more. No more. And the thing about it is, a lot of people have changed from being in my intimate circle and in my presence as a result of these epiphanies and revelations, this guidance that Spirit has been showing. And so, how is this going to benefit you? I don't know who you are, how you vibe with the message, but I feel like I got a few more minutes, so let me pull a couple cards. Let's get something from the Work Your Light Oracle. I can't wait to go back and watch this video at right around 20 minutes and find out how the sound changed when I put it down on my shirt and stopped holding it. But let's get a card from the Work Your Light Oracle. What's the most valuable message considering our channel message? It was just delivered. What do you want us to know? What do you need us to know? What do we need to know? Thank you. It says, Imrama, where are you being called to journey to? So some of us, this is about that journey. Is it spiritual? Is it physical? It could be either, okay? For some, this is a health journey. For some, this is a spiritual journey. For some, this is literally leaving where you've always been to expand your energy in other places. Yeah. And then we have, this is gorgeous, the pillar of light. Your vibration is raising. You are the oracle. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. So here's what this is showing me at what has happened. At one point, you were lost in all these different emotions. This lady is standing in water, and then you have elevated. You see the channel of elevation here, elevated out of being controlled by these emotions, by these feelings. And a lot of it has to do with your emotional control. When you was walking in the waters, wade in the waters, that's what I heard. Okay, when you were walking in the water, when you were standing so strongly in emotion, not understanding what is happening, what are these emotions here for? Yeah, it was for you to take the journey. The emotions could have become very overwhelming, and it was for you to take a journey. And this is, they just said, yeah, into the Akashic Library. So for this reading right here is, this is the Akashic Library. So yeah, this is a beautiful message. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. You have closed the window of portal of control down. Now, some of you are watching this and you're saying, well, that doesn't really resonate. I mean, it sounds like something I might need to do. That's because you're in a different place on the timeline of this experience, okay? You're on a different level of the timeline. This experience is for everybody that ever watches this video. That's for who? And for others who will never find this video because they're going to learn it another way, and that's fine. However, because of the way time being non-linear as we see it, because we're humans living with the concept of time, spirit is like, no, you're somewhere on the spectrum, somewhere from one side to the other. You're somewhere in this experience. You're either at the beginning and you're just realizing like, fuck, there's some contamination, there's some pus swirling and this big old pimple on my third eye. And then now this information is going to help you clear that up so much quicker than it would have without. Or you could be in the middle of it, or you could be at the end of it. Now, they also, this is now the third time I'm hearing, so first time I'll say it out loud. There's also something here that you need to realize about how, as you go through these changes, your physical body could literally be expelling the calcification from your third eye. Because around the time that happened, I started sensing this weird smell with sinus issues, allergy issues. Sometimes I still have allergies, but as I'm talking to you, that scent has completely gone down. Like I almost never smell that smell anymore when it's happening. It's just regular allergies. It runs clear. But it was before, it was almost like very like gluey, very gluey in consistency when I would blow. And then it had a scent with it. And what Spirit showed me, because I was like, this is not what my body does. What the fuck is going on? And what Spirit showed me was it's the cleansing of the calcification of the pineal gland. What's the clearest, easiest, most accessible exit port from the brain? Oh, your ears, your mouth, your nose. Aren't you glad you get to blow it out your nose instead of, let it have to pass your whole system? Yeah, no. Anyways, this is what I have for you. I would love to hear your feedback. If I know that I have a lot of people who are highly sensitive, intuitives, empaths, psychics who view my recordings If you've had any dreams or received any messages, I encourage you to light the comments up. Let's see what's going on with you guys. And if you're not one of those, maybe you're one who's in this experience. You know, are you in the beginning, the middle, the end? You know, how do you feel about that? Does it resonate with you? Put something, light up the comments, let me know. But I'm going to go ahead and end this here. I'll leave this here. And until next time, sending you so much love and peace and happiness. 감사합니다. Gracias. That's all for. Oh, look at the comments. Hold on. Let me see. Let me see the comments before I go. This lady didn't come up over yet. So let me see. She's going to be here in a minute, though. It's, I see Malibu. I see Interstellar Frequency. I see Georgina. Yeah. Yes, thank you. Deep knowledge. Okay. You're welcome. Interstellar Frequency, understanding his own thoughts better. That's awesome. Do what I do what I want, be where I want. Okay, yeah, that's flowing onto my kids and their family. Yes, it is. Okay, what you do affects your 7 generations on both sides. Yes, the tribe. This could be very challenging to accept when you go through this, but it's definitely for your betterment, and you'll get used to it as time moves on. And if you're teachable and open-minded, it's going to be well worth it. Oh, good. Thank you. Georgina confirmed that it's still nice and clear with it on my shirt. That's awesome. So you know what? One thing too, the other thing they want me to throw in here while I'm still here is that the motorcycle hauls ass. Yeah, right? Because that's exactly what's happening. The more of us that do this, is like that motorcycle that hauled ass passing by. It picks up gas, baby. Because remember, we're all linked to a soul connections. So many soul connections. And now, as it wasn't a motorcycle, this time it was a sports car. Passing by, zooming by, revving its engine, it picks up momentum. The more of us that do it, the more of it gets done. It's easier for the ones who are reaching for it, don't know how to do it, if we keep doing what we do. So I'm so thankful and grateful for you. So grateful to be in alliance, that I had a fucking hard-ass life that stimulated within me the energy to become who and how I am now, so we can have these moments. Until next time, love. Sending. Oh, I already said that. Okay, bye.